Hey guys, how you doing? I just graded all of your midterms on stellar evolution, and for the most part, they were really good. I appreciate that. Uh, we're going to move on. I'm going to introduce the major topic, and it's going to be a paper that you're going to write. It's going to be an argument paper. You're going to need to argue one point or another, and it's about. Here it is. We've been waiting for this. It's about how many intelligent communicating civilizations are out there in the Milky Way galaxy. We're not worried about other galaxies. We'll never reach them. We'll never get to them. But in this galaxy, oh man. And so let's go ahead and let's start with the Drake equation and pay close attention here. Uh, uh, in 1961, Congress asked Frank Drake, the head of Cornell's astronomy department, and that's of course where Carl Sagan studied under Frank Drake, asked him to come up with an equation about how many intelligent aliens could be out there. Is this something we need to think about, something we need to worry about? And Frank Drake came up with the Drake equation. It's a pretty simple equation. It's still used today, and you're going to actually solve it for this week's homework. The Drake equation was, like I said, presented to Congress, and it was the foundation for the beginning of the SETI Institute, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. A lot of people have a lot of views on that topic, including me, and everybody has their own answer to the Drake equation. The one simple thing is you can't miss it. The only way you miss the Drake equation is if you get zero. Let me just tell you, think about what it means to be intelligent. And I mean intelligent on a search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And of course, that definition is the ability to communicate over great distances, meaning we could pick up a message, whether or not it's a radio wave, a microwave communication, a laser pulse. Is there some way that people can communicate? So when you pick up your cell phone and you call somebody in Europe, you just demonstrated an advanced civilization that can communicate. Well, here it is. It's a series of variables, and you're going to have to include a number anywhere. So obviously, if you put a zero in there, you're saying that the Earth is not, the humans are not intelligent. And by the way, we've only been intelligent for a little over 100 years. When the radio, you could argue the telegraph, but the radio for sure, those waves are sent out into space and could be picked up by Darth Vader and all his friends out there if they could tune in to our radio waves. And then, of course, decipher the meaning. Uh, so N is your answer. This is the number of intelligent civilizations out there. Like I said, if you get more than 20, listen carefully here for just a second. If you get more than 20, you're going to be what's called a mini world. You think there's many intelligent civilizations out there. Think about it. If there's 20 planets with intelligent races on them, that would be an amazing thing to see 20 different aliens in front of you. Less than that, you're what's called a rare earth, meaning you think that intelligence is rare and the earth is very rare out in the Milky Way. Remember, Milky Way, not universe, Milky Way. So first thing you do, the first variables are, that's the number of stars out there. How many stars? We know that you've got to have sunlight. You're not going to find something on a cold, dark body away from a star. So Frank Drake estimated 10 stars are formed in our galaxy every year. Recent calculations by NASA say that they can discover 7 protostars per year. You put whatever you want. Don't put a zero, though. Next factor is those stars which have planets. Frank Drake in 1961 said that every star has at least a half a planet, meaning one star has 2, another one has 0. Well, we actually have never found a star that didn't have planets. So we know the sun has at least 8. You've got to put what you think's there. 50% of stars easily have easy to find planets. The Kepler Space Telescope's found over 3,000. Then you'd multiply the number of those planets that can support life. You know, there's a hot Jupiter out there that's got no surface, that's temperatures are 10,000 degrees. We don't think life's there. We're looking for the Goldilocks planets, for liquid water, that substance we know we need can be. Drake said there's 2 planets per star. Kepler Space Telescopes found at least 23 that are in the perfectly habitable zone, the quote-unquote Goldilocks zone. So we know they're out there, and that's where Darth Vader could live. Next variable, F, is the habitable planets would actually develop life. You know, is that an accident? Was that some kind of stroke of genius? How did life appear here? And if you talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I've done, that's one of the greatest unsolved mysteries. How did we go from a habitable planet to actually a planet with life? Was it brought here? Did it form from organic molecules, etc.? Frank Drake said one of the 2 planets. We think probably about 0.33 from the Kepler Space Telescope. There's different arguments. By the way, I'm going to give you a homework assignment this week to actually come up with your equation this week. So when you write your paper next week, or if you're an overachiever, write it this week. You decide, are you a mini worlds or are you a rare earth person? Next variable is those fractions of life that go on to develop intelligent life. Remember, life cooked on this planet 2 to 3 billion years before something intelligent, before Marconi came up with the radio and we actually could communicate over great distances. Think about the communications. In fact, in 1968, NASA sent a strong radio wave of the song Across the Universe. And where did they send it? They sent it out to the Hercules cluster, M13, if you remember that from our earlier studies. So your variable F is those planets that go on to develop intelligent life. Maybe the leap that we took with our cell phones and our radios and our all of our ability to communicate, fiber optic cable, maybe that's rare. Drake said 0.2. A lot of people are thinking of 0.5. Only you know what you think. That's the beauty of this assignment. Well, let's say you're intelligent, but are you willing to communicate? What if you don't want to let people know? We know the Earth right now is sending out radio waves in every distance, in every direction at the speed of light. So who knows? Drake said that there wouldn't be a problem. People have different varying opinions. And I'm going to want you to read about this. I want you to research it. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Frank Drake's word for it. Now, let's say you're communicating, say you're intelligent. How long will that go? Well, I looked on the web, and the average civilization on Earth lasts about 420 years. I don't know how that came up, 420. I'll stop all the laughing now. Frank Drake said that 10,000 years is what he thinks. He thinks once you become intelligent, you can develop ways to survive. You won't nuke yourself. You won't let a pandemic take you down. You come up with vaccines and abilities to teach your young, etc. But that's the L. And you multiply that all together. When I put this slide together, I multiplied all those variables together and I got 142. I think there's 142 intelligent civilizations in our Milky Way. Frank Drake, as you can see, in 1961, he reported to Congress he thought there was just under 20,000. Well, what is the right answer? That's a great mystery. It's a mystery I want you to argue. And this is kind of the end of this. I'm going to post the Drake equation. I typed it up. And I did a collaboration with Dr. Fotinos, who used to be the head of the astronomy and physics department at SOU. He's now retired. I'll put that sheet. I want everyone to fill that in and turn that in to me. I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to do another one on what's called the rare earth hypothesis. And that's for those of you who think that there's very few intelligent civilizations out there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and say goodbye to you for now.